My wife confessed something so shocking. I couldn't speak for 3 days. People think silence means peace, that if someone stops talking, the storm is over. But my silence lasted 3 days, not because I was calm, but because my mind couldn't process what I'd heard. It started on a quiet Sunday evening. Nothing unusual. We had dinner, watched a movie, laughed at something stupid on TV. My wife leaned against my shoulder like she always did. If someone had taken a picture of us right then, it would have looked like a perfect marriage. That's the scary part about life. The moment before everything collapses always looks normal. She muted the TV halfway through the movie. I remember the blue light from the screen reflecting in her eyes. She took a deep breath, the kind people take before jumping into cold water. "There's something I need to tell you," she said. I smiled. I thought maybe she bought something expensive or wanted to change jobs. Nothing could have prepared me for what came next. "I've been lying to you," she whispered. My stomach tightened, but I stayed calm. Everyone lies sometimes, right? Small things, harmless things. But her hands were shaking. "I didn't think it would matter anymore," she continued. "But I can't carry it alone." I felt a strange pressure in my chest. The air in the room seemed heavier. I told her to just say it. She looked at me. Not like a wife looks at her husband, but like someone waiting for a sentence. The reason we met wasn't an accident. I frowned. We always joked about how fate brought us together at that cafe years ago. She spilled coffee on my laptop, apologized, and we ended up talking for hours. It was our story, or at least I thought it was. She swallowed hard. I was sent there. I laughed, thinking she meant a friend set it up, but she didn't laugh back. "No," she said quietly. "Someone asked me to get close to you." The room went silent. I stared at her, waiting for the punchline that never came. "What are you talking about?" I asked, her eyes filled with tears. "Your brother." My heart skipped. My brother? The person who toasted at our wedding? The one who called her sister? She nodded before I could speak. "He wanted to know things about you. At first it was just information. Your plans, your work, your life." I stood up, pacing, trying to force my brain to reject the words. It sounded insane. "You're joking," I said. I wish I was. That was the first hook, the moment my reality cracked but hadn't shattered yet. She said it started as something small. My brother thought I was hiding money from the family business, and he wanted proof. She was supposed to get close, earn my trust, learn everything. "But then I fell in love with you," she said, crying now. I swear I did. I didn't know what hurt more. The idea that our relationship began as a lie, or the possibility that her love became real later. I asked her how long this had gone on. "All the way to our wedding," she whispered. I sat back down slowly. My ears rang. 10 years together suddenly felt like a movie someone else had filmed. "And he knows?" I asked. She nodded. "He knows everything." That was the second hook. Realizing my own brother had been watching my life from the shadows. The rest of the night blurred. She kept talking, explaining, apologizing. I heard words but couldn't connect them to meaning. My mouth felt numb. My thoughts moved like heavy fog. At some point, she reached for my hand. I pulled away. I went to bed without saying anything. Not because I forgave her, not because I understood. I just couldn't speak. The next morning, I didn't talk either. She tried to apologize again, but I walked past her. I showered, dressed, left the house. My phone buzzed nonstop. Messages from her, from my brother, from people asking normal questions about normal life. Everything felt fake. I drove for hours, replaying every memory. The first date, the wedding vows, the nights we stayed up talking about the future. Was any of it real? That was the third hook, questioning whether love can survive a lie that big. On day 2, my brother showed up at my door. I almost didn't open it, but curiosity won. He looked nervous, older somehow. "She told you," he said quietly. I nodded. He sighed. "I never meant for it to go that far." I laughed. Finally, a sound escaped me, bitter and sharp. "You used my wife to spy on me." He looked down. "I thought you were hiding something from me." "And were you right?" I asked. He hesitated. That hesitation said everything. "No," he admitted. The anger hit me like a wave. Years of trust collapsed in seconds. I wanted to yell, but nothing came out. Just silence. He kept talking, excuses, regret, guilt. But I closed the door. I didn't speak for the rest of the day. That night, my wife slept on the couch. I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, feeling like a stranger in my own home. On day 3, something changed. I found an old photo album. Us laughing at the beach, her asleep on my shoulder during a road trip. Moments that looked too genuine to be fake. I realized something terrifying. Even if the beginning was a lie, the feelings in those photos looked real. That was the 4th hook. The conflict between betrayal and love. She came into the room quietly. "I don't expect forgiveness," she said. "I just needed you to know the truth." I looked at her for a long time. My voice felt rusty when it finally came back. "Why now?" I asked. She started crying again. "Because I'm pregnant." The world stopped. I sat there, numb. 3 days of silence shattered in one sentence. Suddenly, everything got heavier. This wasn't just about the past anymore. It was about the future. I didn't know what to feel. Joy, fear, rage, hope? I asked if the baby was mine. The question hurt both of us. She nodded immediately. "Yes, I would never lie about that." I wanted to believe her, but trust doesn't repair itself overnight. That was the final hook, when the story stops being about betrayal and becomes about choice. Weeks passed. Conversations slowly replaced silence. Pain mixed with tenderness. I confronted my brother one last time and told him to stay out of our lives. Some days I still hear her confession echo in my head. Some nights I wonder if our love would exist without that first lie. But then I feel her hand in mine, and I realize life is messy. People make terrible choices. Sometimes love starts in the wrong place and still becomes real. I don't know what the future holds. Maybe we'll heal. Maybe we won't. But I finally understand why I couldn't speak for 3 days. Because when the person you trust most rewrites your entire past, words stop making sense. And you have to learn how to speak again. From the beginning. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what moment shocked you the most and what you felt while listening.